My first week of Bangernomicsing has been a bit more bangery than I expected, thanks to that friendly Hyundai who redecorated the side of the car for me. But I've still managed to put about 400 miles on the car in the last week, but I've managed to find 3 things to spend money on which I wouldn't have had to do if I was running a new, dare I say it, better car. First of all, before I even took delivery of the car, I knew the tyres were the cheapest ditch finders you could find, and the back one on this side was approaching the limit and had a slow puncture. So I bought a set of 4 Continental Premium Contact 6s for the car, which, you know, is half the value of the car almost to start with there and then, but you can't value good tyres too highly, so I'm happy to spend the money on good tyres. If I had a new car, it would have come with them anyway, so that's a few £100 spent there. Second of all, it was 30 degrees last week and the air conditioning was not blowing anywhere near as cold as it should do. It blew hot, then cold, then hot, then cold. Turns out that can be low refrigerant, so I spent £60 having the refrigerant topped up, and that freshened things up a fair bit. Still needs the system cleaning out because it's a little bit musty, but that's another £60 I wouldn't have had to spend if this was a brand new car, or even a 5-year-old car perhaps, or one with a maintenance record. When it was getting really hot, a couple of times I noticed the temperature gauge just creeping towards the top of the dial, and I thought that's not going to be a good thing if it overheats. So I had to spend £20 on some coolant from Halfords. I've got a trade card, so that knocked the price down a fair bit, and I did the work myself. There are 3 ways to drain the coolant out of one of these cars. First of all, you can jack the car up, and there's a little drain plug at the bottom of the radiator. Sadly, this car is slightly too new and Ford deleted that to save money. So you can wiggle off a very tricky pipe and drain off the radiator that way. Or, if you have the patience of a saint, you can open this cover and use a pipette or some kind of siphon thing and suck the header tank out and then run it and then suck it out some more. That's a slow and time-consuming way of doing it. Or the third way of doing it, you can be an absent-minded idiot. You can take the cap off to see how much fluid there is in there, forget about it and start the car, and then watch while it fires a geyser of boiling hot water over the back of the engine and the bonnet. That is a very fast and effective way of draining a cooling system, I've found. So, this now has about 3 of its 5 litres of fresh coolant, and by running it with the heater on just before doing that as well, it seems to have flushed the system a bit, and it hasn't overheated again despite the fact it's still very hot out here. Well, wrecked or not, I'm stuck with this car for a few weeks at the very least, so let's make it nice. And for that touch of luxury, these semi-tailored, not just tailored, but semi-tailored mats are on special offer in Halfords this week, so give the car a bit of class. Link down below. These seem like pretty good quality items for not much money. Make the car very smart. As far as actually driving this thing goes, it's been great. It's a little down on power. I think it might need a turbo cleaning, but it accelerates smoothly. It's lovely on the motorway. It's getting good economy. And the gearbox is nice, the radio's good. In terms of actually being in the car, there is no reason to have spent £10,000 more than I have spent already, other than looking back in the car park when you walk away and thinking, wow, that Mercedes C-Class looks beautiful, or God, that M5 looks so aggressive, I love it. Instead of looking back going, yeah, I've got 4 good tyres on that car. It's not such a feel-good feeling. But in terms of driving a workhorse, that's fine. It doesn't push any petrol head buttons, but it does a job and leaves plenty of money free to play with the other junk I've got around here. Now I'm just waiting to hear back from the insurance company to find out what the state of this poor condemned vehicle is. Will they want to give me so much money that I'll be glad to see the back of it? Will they give it to me virtually for free so I want to keep it and fix it? Or will, I can't believe they will, want to pay £3,000 to fix my £1.5 Mondeo? We shall see. Tune in next week, hit like, hit subscribe, and find out next time.